What's up, guys? We're running late to the Anglican Church. I have the camera right here. I'll see you guys later. There we are. We're actually about to get an interview soon enough. Okay, so we're on the way to the Anglican Church, and we have Eli going to Jacob's house.
Yeah, and I'm almost the person ahead of me is so slow.
So we're gonna be, at this point we're gonna have to go to felony speeds because the service starts at 10:30.
Yeah, and these rats took so long to get ready.
Okay, sorry, I want to look good.
It was just you, Jackson.
Honestly, I believe that.
I was just standing there, and he was like, almost ready. Hold on.
Ready. Bro said, I'm getting my shoes on right now, and I had to wait an extra like 10 minutes for him to come out.
That's because we were on a call when I was putting my flipping shoes on.
It's not that hard to just put your shoes on.
Hey, I was on a call.
How bad are you at
And then I had to go up and get the camera.
The camera isn't that necessary.
It's kind of necessary for filming a YouTube video. Whatever you say, man. But hey, we've got to make it to Jacob's house soon.
We're about like dox Jacob because you're gonna show us pulling up to his house.
You know what? He can handle that.
Yeah, he deserves it.
There we are. Come on.
Hey,
come on!
We have to go fast.
Yeah.
You need to unlock the door. You locked in too much. You locked the door.
Okay. Is it better for me to just hit a 3-point turn here, or should I?
Is there a cul-de-sac?
There's a cul-de-sac nearby.
Okay.
Just whip it.
Yeah, it's 30 minutes away, and it's 29 minutes till service. It's actually probably further than 27 minutes away because we went further out to get Jacob.
So speed. I think that's your only choice.
Yeah, we're actually gonna have to whip that. Am I turning left here, or do I have to turn right?
You could always go to Catholic Mass at 5 o'clock instead.
Jacob, he's asking for directions.
Oh, this is fine. Just go straight.
Okay. Do I turn right here or no?
Go straight.
Okay.
Hit that guy.
5 points.
Also, guys, I'm gonna switch to the phone camera because I don't want to bring my big old camera into the sanctuary. So that the last clip I filmed was on my phone, so y'all have already seen a switch in quality a little bit. But yeah, just wanted to point that out. Okay, guys, the church is right there.
And we're getting screwed by this light.
Any final thoughts before we go in?
I need this light to hurry up. There's no one here.
Are we gonna be ready to submit to Canterbury after this?
Absolutely.
Okay, guys.
This better not be like residents only parking. It says no parking.
Oh, it's a post office. It's a public building, but hey, we'll see you guys in a bit. So, guys, first time at an Anglican church. Just got done with it. It was
great.
Yep. Believe it or not, the former Episcopalian Bishop of Alabama preached here, so we're actually about to get an interview soon enough. What's one thing about Anglicanism that you wish that more people would understand? Any things you would like to clarify?
First, we hold great reverence for the Bible.
More liberal, more conservative, theologically. Well, I know that there's a difference between theological and political conservatism. Mainly, we're focusing on theological liberalism, theological conservatism. So, not to cause a war or anything, but where do you stand on that?
So I became a bishop in the Episcopal Church in 2008. The raging debate when I became a bishop suffragan in 2008, and still when I became Bishop Diocesan in 2012, had to do with the place of homosexual people in the church.
So guys, we just left an Episcopalian service, first time going, and I was even lucky enough to get an interview with the former Episcopalian Bishop of Alabama, Bishop Key, and that video is coming out soon. But, like with our Catholic adoration video, we're going to go around with the camera and explain our experience with the service, right? So if anybody would like to go first,
I'll go first.
I'll hand the camera off to you.
So, Episcopalian, Anglican, whatever you want to call it. It's more high church, and it was overall a great experience. I'm sure we can all agree on that. It was wonderful.
It was good.
But from the start, I really, really appreciated how they gave us a physical copy of the liturgy so we could follow along for newcomers like us.
Catholics do that too.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I like that. It is good. It was, I kind of felt like a fish out of water at first. Like, I am probably going to feel about all these other churches, but the people there were very welcoming. They helped us. They showed us where to look to see, find the Nicene Creed, all the stuff we read out, the hymnal. The people there were just extremely nice and welcoming. There were greeters at the door. I mean, it was awesome. And tasted wine for the first time.
Okay. I don't know if that's like. I don't know if that's something we should admit. Because I think we're supposed to tell them that we're. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Because we're not supposed to drink wine, so there must have been
But it's
something
just one sip though,
we
doesn't
did
it?
wrong. I mean,
And also, you're allowed to drink wine for like religious purposes. Like
Yeah, you are.
okay. Then.
It tasted pretty bad.
Honestly, it was not that bad. I don't know what you were on about. That was pretty good.
But
Dude, that stuff tasted rotten.
Well, it's
because
kind
it
of,
literally is right.
I know. There's no way you were like, oh, that tastes good.
it tastes good.
But back on topic, very good experience. Jackson had a wonderful interview with the former Bishop of Alabama, which is actually awesome.
500 times.
But
It's okay.
Well, it's like, what do you expect?
a very
You know?
positive experience for me. It felt like, I'm sure we all had that same feeling. It felt amazing after we finished. Like, it felt victorious. It was an awesome feeling after we finished this service. So yeah, Jacob.
Okay, so in the interview, Bishop Key, he mentioned how Anglicanism and Episcopalians, how they are both Protestant and Catholic and neither at the same time. And I think that's really interesting, like how they find the middle ground. And then amongst Anglicans, there's also, the Protestant and conservative side. So like there's a whole compass, like up and down, left and right. And I think it's really cool how, we found the one guy that he's straight in the middle, because I think that gives a good view of all of Anglicanism, that we get this one guy who compromises right in the middle. He's right in the middle of conservative and progressive, although I guess he did imply that he leans progressive, but overall he came in from a very neutral perspective on both sides of the compass, and I think that's a very good thing. And it's good to get a summary of all the different possibilities within Anglicanism, I guess. On top of that, my experience with the liturgy in particular, I had a very unique experience. I think this speaks for Christianity more than it speaks for Anglicanism on its own, but the sermon definitely felt very targeted toward me. I think God had a hand in making sure I heard that sermon today, because not to get personal, 2 videos in a row, but yeah, going through crap. But the sermon talked about stuff that I had thought about just the night before. You know, how people, when something bad happens, they struggle with faith, and they struggle with, you know, trusting in God fully, and, you know, not wanting your own, you're just letting God take the wheel, basically. And I think that's something this particular bishop talked about a lot, and he talked about it very well, that it's about being okay with being blind and taking one step at a time, even if you have no idea what to expect, even if you are scared, trusting the person, the God that is guiding you. Not the God, like, there is one God. That I didn't mean to apply something with that, but yeah, that's my experience.
All right, so kind of like how I did with the adoration video, I'll explain my experience, beginning, middle, and end. Right, so we pulled up to the church, and we walked inside, friendly greeters, you know, good people and whatnot. We walked inside, and really all the seats were taken up. And we were just kind of standing in the back for a little bit. But then, you know, I said it, apparently that's something I say all the time.
When you rewatch the interview,
we need to add in, we need to keep in all of the times you said, We actually, during the video with the interview, have a counter for how many times you say,
But, you know, we were kind of standing in the back. Didn't really have anywhere to sit, but then this nice couple invited me and Eli to sit next to them. Harry and Jacob found some people to sit next to, and it was they're very nice people, very welcoming. Yes, very welcoming. So I go in, and to be honest, for the first little bit of the service, I was completely lost. I didn't really know what to do. Of course, I knew about the Book of Common Prayer, but I didn't really know how to navigate the liturgy. But as it went on, I got the hang of it more, and I was even showing Eli and Harry, where we're on and whatnot. So we can move on, and something I really liked that I preferred about the Anglican service is about how much of a focus it was on, like, what's going on right now. Right? Because I kind of feel like it's kind of weird to explain, but a lot of the times at, like, an evangelical church, sometimes, my mind will just drift off sometimes. But with the liturgy, I kind of just focused on that, and I was able to focus on, like, a here and now, like, what's going on and whatnot. And that's something I very much appreciated. Nicene Creed, loved reciting that. What else was there that I liked? I experienced communion because I am a baptized Christian. They allowed any baptized Christian to receive communion. So I went up there, I took the bread, I ate it, and I drank one sip of the wine. And it was disgusting. It kind of dissuaded me from ever becoming an alcoholic. I didn't like it. Jacob,
like how Jacob said, like that's a negative thing that you were dissuaded from being an alcoholic.
Yeah, hey, Jacob likes rotten grapes for some reason, but I like my grapes fresh. But I do prefer the Baptist Welsh's grape juice more, admittedly. But it's fine. The sermon was very good. He talked about, just to summarize it, it was kind of a longer sermon. He talked about how a blind boy got into big high dive, and a boy behind him was directing him along the way, and he was using that analogy to explain how we trust in God, even, a song they sung was Psalm 23, where he says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. And how we're supposed to trust in God even when we don't know what the next right step is. So that is something I very much liked about it. No? And, we talked to the bishop after Bishop Key. That interview's coming out soon. Welcome to my questions. And he, I could tell that he knew what he was talking about. And yeah, it was a good experience. I very much liked it. But that's all I have to say.
Okay, so my first experience with any kind of sort of high church. Now, he, Bishop, what was it, Key?
Yeah, Key Sloan.
Yeah, he said that it wasn't like as high church as like some other, denominations or even other Anglican churches. So I'm a little bit more, I'm still interested in seeing like, the heights of high church, because that was my closest experience to having a high church experience. Like everyone else said, I felt like a bit of a fish out of water, especially considering I didn't have, like, my one formal shirt I have wasn't clean, so I was like the only person there with just a hoodie. I felt like that on top of the fact that I didn't take communion because I'm not baptized yet. That's gonna happen next week. But yeah, the fact that I didn't take communion and I have, I'm like the only one not wearing formal clothes. I felt like a noob. Also, I'm going way too fast right now. But I felt like a noob. Like I think I'm fairly educated, and I think I'm pretty solid. Bless you. But I feel like I'm fairly educated and solid in my faith. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm nearly as educated as Jackson or Jacob or Noah, but
Jesus and whatnot? His name's Noah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely who I was talking about. But being there, like, with my informal clothing and not being able to partake in communion, I felt like an absolute noob. But it was still really nice, even though I didn't really know what was going on. I really liked the sermon, and it really resonated with me, because I think that's one thing I'm proud of in my faith, is that I'm very good at understanding that sometimes I just don't understand certain things, and there are things that I won't know, and I just have to place my trust in God in those situations. And that's one thing I consider myself very good at. I'm very good at being able to trust, God's word and His judgment and His goodness and His grace and all that. I think the interview was really nice. I think Bishop Key went over some really nice points. I really need to slow down. I'm gonna get pulled over. But yeah, I think he made some really good points. I have been kind of attracted to Anglicanism recently, because I am very. I think I very strongly believe in the idea that it's not necessarily specific theology that's important, but rather our intent with it. As long as we're trying to, follow God the best we possibly can, I think that's really what's more important than trying to figure out small, theological issues and arguments and all that stuff. I think union with people, despite our disagreements in theology, is very important as a church to, both be stable in our own faith and also to introduce others into faith. But yeah, I really like the experience. I am very interested in going to that St. Andrew's place that he talked about.
Yeah, for the Easter vigil, the day before Easter.
Yeah, I would consider myself a little bit more like conservative when it comes to like my theological beliefs. But so I mean, I'm more interested in a church that more so reflects that. Which not to say there was really like any red flags or anything with the church that we went to. I couldn't really think of any complaints. But yeah, it was a nice experience. First time really in any way having high church experience. But yeah, it was fun.
Indeed. Well, hey, we all had a very cool experience, all very good experience. But unless anyone has anything else, we love you guys.
And submit to Canterbury.
Submit to Canterbury!
Canterbury!
Ooh, take that, Catholics!
Submit to Utah.
Submit to Louisville! Oh, what's another one?
Submit to, what was it that you said earlier? Submit to Geneva.
Submit to Geneva! Submit to John Calvin.
Submit to Buddha.
Submit to Martin Luther. Luther.